About that. Welcome back to the stream. Hey, let me just get this up on my phone so we are in business. Is the picture working? No, why is it not? Oh, I need to hit play. That might help. Come on, you piece of crap. There we go. Alright, welcome back. Listen, my breakfast is getting cold, so let us get to the first thing on the agenda, alright? Okay, there we are. Sorry about that. Frame's looking good. Okay, let's go. So, I watched some of this, but not all the way. And you know what? I actually haven't watched very much of TYT's stuff at all. Oh, no, I don't, let me rephrase that. I'm familiar with, their positions and whatnot. I just, don't watch them regularly, if that makes more sense. Anyway, so this is a little bit interesting. So there's this conservative commentator called Ashley St. Clair. He's kind of cute. He is kind of cute. And she is kind of like Blair White, but if you can believe it, stupider. And she made the big mistake that conservatives do. Or, sorry, she made the big mistake that conservatives endeavour to avoid. And she actually debated a progressive. Which, I mean, if you're a conservative, you need to avoid that shit. Because otherwise your ideas won't hold up. So, let's see how she fares.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the bullpen. In the bullpen today, we have Ashley St. Clair, author of Elephants Are Not Birds and director of operations at Arsenal Media Group. Ms. St. Clair, thank you for being on the show. How are you?
Good. How are you, Dr. Ritchie?
I'm doing quite well. We're going to chop it up about a few items. Hopefully we get to all of them. Let's start with the anti-vax, anti-mask movement in the United States of America. I don't want to presume what you believe about these items, so I will simply ask you to give me your context and your background as it relates to the anti-vax and anti-mask movement.
I think my take would be really simple. I don't think that the government should be mandating vaccines or masks anywhere, and I'll leave it at that, especially what we're seeing in New York City to go into restaurants or things like that to have a vaccine passport. Especially me, I'm 7 months pregnant. I don't want to have to be forced to get something that I'm uncomfortable with, especially that I don't know the long-term effects on me and my baby right now. So I think that it's just something that it has gone too far with the government mandates, and it's as simple as that.
God damn it. Alright, thanks for that. I was muted because I didn't want to crunch into the microphone. Okay. Let me say all that again. Before we get to where I found it, I want to give my opinion. As a libertarian, I'm of the opinion that my rights can't come at the expense of yours. So I'm afraid that you don't have the freedom to not abide by COVID-19 restrictions, such as mask mandates, such as vaccine mandates, because to do so would be to increase the likelihood that I'll catch COVID-19 from yourself. If you don't follow these restrictions, then the likelihood of transferring it to a person is increased, such as you've exerted your bodily autonomy to the extent that it has infringed upon another person. I used to not be so keen on vaccine mandates. I think morally, I definitely always thought that morally you had the obligation to take them. But at this point, when we're dealing with so many, like this is the real second wave, 2021, and now we're seeing like how many variants are we up to now? Delta, Lambda, and this new one, Mu. Wait till Mu 2 comes around. Yeah, like, now I'm definitely like 100% like, yes, we need vaccine mandates. Fuck it. See, people on the right think that libertarianism means the freedom to do whatever you want. No, it's the freedom to do what you want, save keeping another from doing the same. The importance of vaccines is completely different in 2021 to 2019. I mean, I think it's even different from 2021 to 2020. Because like I just said, now we're seeing mutations of the virus. I think 2021 is an entirely different ballgame to 2020. Absolutely, yes to vaccine mandates. As I've said, my freedom can't come at the expense of yours. All right, Ashley, lay it on us.
Okay, so let me say this. First of all, the government is not mandating that you receive a vaccination. A private company that says we would like to see a vaccine passport, well, that is a private company. Typically, you all do believe in private enterprise or the consumer driving that market for that private company. Private companies are able to enforce things like no shirt, no shoes, no mask, no service. Do you agree with companies having the right to enforce those particular rules as it relates to their consumers on their private property?
I was literally just thinking, same thing, like no shirt, no shoes is rules in tons of businesses. So why the hell can't vaccine rules be the same? Like I've seen Fox News commentators talk about, oh, we've got vaccine apartheid now, which is like a misappropriation of vaccine apartheid, the fact that Western countries have taken the majority of the vaccines and left more developing countries in the lurch. But now we're seeing how unvaccinated people are being discriminated against. And I say, yeah, you should be treated like the plague rats that you are. If you're not going to take a free vaccine, yeah, like a business should absolutely be allowed to discriminate against you. And again, I thought this was the private property, businesses do what they want crowd. Biden just announced some vax rules changed like a few minutes ago. Ooh, interesting. Okay, I'll have to take a look at that.
Property.
Of course. Are you familiar with what was passed in New York City?
No, go ahead, ma'am. You can go ahead and enlighten us.
Okay, so businesses are forced to, I mean, you have to have a vaccine to do recreational activity. So that's gone beyond private enterprise. This isn't, the movie theater decided, hey, we would prefer that our patrons have a vaccine if they come in. This was Mayor de Blasio saying, you need to have a vaccine if you want to enjoy these things.
Okay.
Isn't this the states' rights crowd? Shouldn't they be okay with that because it's not on a federal level?
Let me bring your attention to something I find quite interesting. When you say that there should not be a mask mandate, typically we're talking about children. If you look at social media, the biggest debates and the most chaotic scenes are at school boards now. Who would have thought that school board meetings would have been so damn exciting? Okay, so the fundamental question is, the first question is, do school boards even have the legal authority to mandate masks? What are your thoughts about that? Do you believe school boards have the legal authority to do so?
I think they can, but I don't think they should at all.
Okay.
I think those are two different questions, and I can't believe you can't see how school boards could get out of hand if you've ever been to a PTA meeting.
Listen, I'm a former high school teacher. I've been to a number of school boards. I've never seen school boards get this out of hand, though.
Yeah, and I don't think kids are not at risk. Again,
this is the whole states' rights crowd, or a school board is a more localized authority. I thought these people were all about localized authority. Hey, as an anarchist, I'm all about weakening power structures. So I'm all for more localized authority. But here's the thing, I'm so sick of small government being attributed to conservatives. They're not about small government. And also, like, kids aren't at risk. Kids seem to be less at risk of the original variant, but Delta, yeah, they're not doing so well against Delta.
Really don't see the need for mandating masks on children. I just don't.
So let's talk about what kids are already mandated to do, right? So I agree with you that mask mandates are permissible for a school board to implement. Okay, we agree on that. You have more of a moral or ethical argument saying, but it's not pragmatic. It shouldn't be done, even though legally it can be.
Well, not even just pragmatic. It's wrong. I could curse you out on here and do whatever, but it would be wrong, correct? And I feel the same way about mask mandates on children. You just because you can do something doesn't mean that you should or that it's morally right.
Why is it wrong? You just tell us why.
Well, wrong means morally reprehensible. So you think having a mask mandate is in fact morally reprehensible?
I mean, if you want to equate my position to morally reprehensible because I think it's wrong, sure, you can go ahead and say that. I do think it's reprehensible to affect children in that way. The impacts it has on their learning, on their societal, on the way they're able to build relationships. I don't think we really know the full term effects of that yet.
All right, so let me do this first because we already have multiple mandates for children inside of school systems. Children do not have free reign to dress as they choose. They do not have free reign.
Well, let me be really clear too. Let me be really clear. I don't like the public school system in general. I think they go too far. I think they mandate too many things in general.
Okay, I'm going to ask you about some of those mandates.
Go ahead.
Okay, children do not have the right to wear whatever they choose to wear. They cannot utilize whatever language they choose to utilize without penalty because of the environment of the school system. And also, currently, there are already mandates for vaccines for all of public education in the United States of America, and 92% of private institutions mandate a level of vaccination. So these are the common ones that are already mandated for.
Conservatives didn't have a problem with any kind of school board mandates until it became a political talking point. I mean, the whole homeschool, public school debate has been going on for ages. But he's right. There's been rules around public schools that school boards have had the authority to implement, but suddenly it's become an issue because of COVID-19.
Measles, mumps, chickenpox.
Also, I'm not saying a whole lot because we're 5 minutes in and he's just manhandling her.
If you've done any research
madam,
on me,
if you would, madam, I have not interrupted you. I'm going to ask that you don't interrupt me. Okay?
Totally. My apologies. Go ahead.
Absolutely. So these are already mandated, polio.
You could tell he used to work for a high school.
Et cetera. And they've been mandated for decades inside of school systems throughout the United States of America. Do you have a fundamental issue with these vaccinations being already mandated, or do you just have an issue with a non-chemical being mandated, known as the mask, and you're okay with these chemical mandates that are already implemented in the school system?
No, I'm
What's your brain?
not okay with the other mandates either. If you've done any research on me, you know that I have tweeted I can't count how many times homeschool your kids for reasons just like this. And if you want to go back to what you said about, hey, you can't say whatever you want in school. Yeah, usually because kids can be mean, so they have anti-bullying things, things that cause harm. Whereas,
you can't use profanity either.
Yeah, because those things cause harm. Whereas not wearing a mask for kids does not really cause harm, especially if you look at the data on kids being harmed by COVID.
I don't know if you saw the.
Well, actually, yes, not wearing a mask does do harm because it increases the likelihood of transmitting COVID. And if he's about to say that kids do spread Delta more easily, come on, call her out on it. Delta has a higher infection rate among children.
The latest report that came out yesterday by the CDC that said that the increase in COVID-19 among children has increased to a staggering rate. Experts are saying it is going to get worse. Look at Alabama, for example. In 1 week, Alabama had to hospitalize over 50 children. 1 week. We went months without hospitalizing any children before the variant came. Once the variant came, it impacted children in a way that the first rendering of COVID did not. Excuse me. So you can't say that the science is on your side with this. Also, masks bring down the spread of COVID-19 from 40 to 60%. And if they are worn properly, it brings it down by 90%. Once again, that's a safety issue inside of the school system. So you can't argue that children are now not being impacted by this, what I call DeSantis variant. They are being impacted by it in ways that they were not impacted by the original COVID. So tell me, how do you reconcile the numbers here? Because the science is saying that this variant is much more severe for children than the original COVID-19.
Let me predict her response, all right? Let me get in the head of Ashley St. Clair. Nuh-uh. Nuh-uh. Nuh-uh, Dr. Rashad Ritchie. Nuh-uh. Watch.
What is the death rate for children? Could you inform me on that?
So only if children die.
Complete pivot, no response. That's like, he just spoke for like a minute and a half straight, and complete pivot to a whole other question. Nice, well done. This is why conservatives don't debate.
Should this be an issue?
Because it's not dangerous. Children are not dying from this. They're getting sick, yes, just like they do with the flu. There's lots of kids who are.
And the long-term impacts on your health is what we should be worried about. That's what concerns me about COVID-19. I'm an asthmatic, but it's not that serious. I've had my first shot, so I've good chance that I will survive. But I'm less concerned about dying and more concerned about walking up a flight of stairs and being puffed out, or walking into a room and forgetting why I've got, like, what the reason I've come in there for. That's what scares me about COVID-19.
Hospitalized with the flu. There's nothing wrong with that. I think the impacts of children having to wear masks are much more dangerous than kids.
What are the impacts of them having to wear masks? Like, you can maybe make an argument for, like, well, you can't make an argument, but you can at least, like, say, like, oh, like, the vaccine's dangerous or they don't need it. But how is a mask dangerous to a child? How is a mask dangerous to anyone?
Kids getting sick. And
so
how many of these cases of children being hospitalized? First of all, anybody who goes to the hospital is considered hospitalized. You're very rarely are you turned away from the hospital. So
how many of these are? You're incorrect. No. That's not how the data. No, that is not how the.
That's not, yeah, like just going to the hospital. That's not hospitalized.
CDC codified the data.
So what is the hospitalization? What is defined as a hospitalization?
I'm glad you asked the question. I will explain it to you clearly. When you're hospitalized, that means that you have been admitted by the medical staff to be observed. Okay, going to a hospital.
I've been admitted for a UTI before.
Madam, you asked me a question, madam. I'm trying to give you clarity and answer it. Being hospitalized does not mean you went to the hospital. Being hospitalized does not mean you went to the ER or even saw a doctor. The way the data is codified, being hospitalized means that you were admitted by medical staff for further treatment and observation. That's what that means. So let's talk about the severity of COVID-19. The severity of COVID-19 for this is this with children. So while they're not dying at the rate of adults, those with underlying issues especially are at risk of death, and those who do not have underlying issues are suffering from respiratory issues for the rest of their life. More than likely, they will never be able to fully recover their respiratory issue based on their COVID interaction. The issue is this: inside of a school system.
Just before he goes on, the rate of what's called long haulers of the long-term effects is, I don't know what the rate is for unvaccinated people. I don't know what the rate is for vaccinated people, but for unvaccinated people, the likelihood of contracting a long-term health effect seems to be at this stage 50 to 80%, which is insane. And that's what's got me so worried about it.
Will wearing a mask decrease the transmission of COVID? That's a simple question.
Oh, hold up. Almost snuck that one in, eh? Well, sorry. You're not going to get that one by us. Okay. Let's get back to it.
Decrease the transmission of COVID? That's a simple question.
I don't believe that. I believe that the impacts of masks are worse.
That's a different argument, and I will get to that argument in a moment in all due respect. My only question for this part of the argument.
I don't know that it's effective because what I've read is that the only mask that's effective is N95. Should we mandate N95s for all these kids? Because half the kids I see are wearing cloth ones that they got at TJ Maxx.
Okay, so your rebuttal is?
Anything's better than nothing.
That it is not effective. Now, I do find this quite interesting because the place where you get your data as far as the death rate of children is concerned is the same place where I get my data as it relates to the effectiveness of wearing masks. So you accept one data set from that same organization, the CDC, but you reject the data set that says you decrease the spread of COVID when you do wear a covering on your face.
No,
now,
I just said the one that was effective is an N95. Most of these kids are not wearing N95s. They're wearing cloth ones from Target or TJ Maxx.
Okay, so you would be okay with the school system mandating that?
No, no, I don't think they should mandate it. Even if it is effective in slowing the spread of COVID-19.
Even if it's effective?
Correct. Even if it would be effective in slowing the spread of the flu. I don't think kids should be masked for that reason. This is not the argument here. I don't think they should wear them. Even if it's effective, I don't think they should be wearing them.
Do you think?
Imagine that being your brain. Like, even if it is effective, you shouldn't have to wear them. Imagine being that malicious, that sociopathic. Fucking hell. This is why many people, myself included, say that conservatism is a death cult.
We are in uncharted territory with COVID.
To an extent, and I think
Explain.
I think it relies that question. The answer is dependent on where you think COVID came from.
And where do you think it came from?
I genuinely believe that this was something that came from China, from Wuhan.
Okay, and
we know that, but it's what you're not saying. Come on, tell us it was grown in a lab or something.
Tell me, why does that matter?
Because if there is, a foreign nation testing with biological weapons, it is something that we need to take more seriously. And I think that's why we did take it more seriously in the beginning.
So we need to take it more seriously, right?
No, that's not what I said.
You just said that.
You didn't say we need to take it more seriously?
No, I said we took it more seriously in the beginning because we didn't know. And that's why China had locked down. And I think that scared us as well because of how insane China was about it. But then once more of this data came out and we found out that, hey, it's actually not as deadly as we once thought.
China was insane about it because they have a massive, densely packed population. They can't let another disease get out of control. Go back and watch documentaries about, I was going to say bird flu. No, SARS. Go back and watch documentaries about SARS that happened after, obviously happened after. And all the doctors will say, like, this is going to happen again. And it did.
We should ease restrictions. We should ease things like that.
Okay.
But yeah, at first, so many people were scared, and I think rightfully so because we didn't know.
Look at Sweden. Sweden tried this approach of just, we're not going to have any restrictions. We're going to let it burn through the population. Has a low death count, and they regretted it. In the end, that turned out to be a disastrous plan.
But now that we have more data, we realize that this thing is not as deadly as we thought. It shouldn't be the madness that's going on now. It shouldn't be the lockdowns. It shouldn't be the mandates.
Let me ask you this. Are you a local government person? Do you believe that local government should have the right to make these decisions based on that community and what they're getting in their data based on science?
No, not always.
No, so you're not a local government person?
I like local government, but I don't. I believe local and federal government have their restrictions, and they can,
They do.
I like a local government just when it doesn't agree with me. Just when it comes to school boards, don't like it. When it comes to cities putting down their own mandates, I like local government, except when it doesn't go my way.
Power does corrupt. People tend to get high on power. More
Yeah, but
so,
mask is
in local
within
government.
mask is within government. Mask or a mask mandate by a school board is within the government authority. You already agreed to that. That's not drunk with power. That's
and I've
within
already
the
said that I
authority.
don't. Two things: I don't think that they should, and I don't think that you should have your kids in public school.
What about those?
Oh, I missed the notification, but to how do you say that? RB Face? They give her the follow, right? Means a whole lot.
Those that don't have a choice, madam.
That is very unfortunate. That's really
It's
unfortunate.
just
And I
unfortunate.
think,
Wait a minute.
yes, I think,
If
and I
they
think
don't-
they should fight back.
if they
and I
don't have a
think those
choice-
people- I think that's really unfortunate, and I think people need to get involved, and they need to run for their school boards.
Madam,
They
the
disagree
school
with
board,
it.
madam, you just told people to get involved. You're all over the place. You told people to get involved and run for their school board. School board, they oversee what? What do they oversee?
The school, you're talking about people who don't have a choice but to put their kids in
Ma'am,
school, correct?
the school board, you're telling people to run for school board. What does the school board oversee?
The school,
The school board oversees public education.
correct.
So why are you telling people to take all of their children out of public education, but to run for a board that literally only oversees public education?
Listen, I've never watched this guy before, but I don't know, I'm liking him, alright? The way, his way of speaking is so confident, but so respectful, but he's just completely, he reminds me of, an outboxer. He's not getting in and, getting in close, but he's just staying outside, staying cool, and just landing hits from a safe distance. It's so cool.
That's definitely unfair. I'm talking about the people who you said don't have a choice but to put their kids in school. If you have a choice to take your kids out, take them out.
So the solution for
And if you don't, make sure that you're more involved. Then, if you can't keep your kids out of public school, be more involved.
Which is unfortunately what we're going to see, because apparently, well, not apparently, but I've seen news articles about school board members are quitting over all of these insane QAnon COVID conspiracy guys coming in and using the school board meeting as a platform for them to just yell insane shit. So it seems like maybe some of these conservative people will be running for school board with these absences. So that's cool. If you're a school board member, then hey, hang in there.
Your solution
I think you're absolutely misrepresenting my ideas.
No, I'm confused by it. I'm trying to get clarity though. I'm not misrepresenting anything.
I think that's pretty clear. I think that's pretty clear.
Okay. Let me go to a point that I wanted to discuss with you, the flu versus COVID. I hear this comparison being made a lot, that this is no more dangerous than the common flu. So let me give you just one statistic about the peak season for 1 week of the flu. We're talking about death rate is 700 plus. The peak season for death with COVID is 15 to 20,000 in 1 week. The death rate is not comparable. As far as the infection rate of the flu in the United States of America is 0.1%. The infection rate for COVID-19 is 1 to 3% depending on that region. Ooh. So when you talk about the carnage that it creates and the severity of the symptoms as well as the number of dead bodies, it's not comparable whatsoever. Then you start looking at the adverse impact that COVID has had on people's lives beyond the illness. Once again, not comparable to the flu at all. My only gesture to you and others is this. We don't fully know this virus yet. We're still dealing with the variant. The variant just got here. We may be dealing with another variant based on the experts, which means, once again, another mutation. The question is really simple. Because we don't have a handle of this, like people say, we don't, why would we not listen to local school boards and simply allow them to make the decision based on the local science of what's happening to their own children? Why would we not listen to them as it relates to the safety and protection of their kids? Are we no longer believing in school teachers? We're not believing in the local elected representatives. Remember, you're telling people to run for school board, but the people that are on the school board who already ran for school board, who have to make decisions about that public school system, you all are adversarial to them.
So what is the question exactly?
Do you not think we should be cautious? That we should allow local boards to make this decision based on the science and data available to them?
Sure, they can make that decision, and the parents have the right to fight it and disagree with it. And I think, just like many other parents out there, that it's wrong.
Wow. Oh man. Watch this, Lise. You can actually pause the moment where her brain stops working.
And I think it's unfair for you to conflate some of these COVID deaths when you're not talking about what percentage of them have comorbidities and different things like that. It's a lot more dangerous to be obese and be around COVID than to be a kid not wearing a mask.
You know, people make that argument a lot, and let me give you a humanist argument. You may have an underlying health condition right now.
Most people who are overweight do not have underlying health conditions.
Listen to me, please. You may, I may. We're still human beings. If COVID more so adversely affects
because if you wanted to save lives,
madam, I'm going to allow you to finish, and then I will respond. Go ahead. You finish.
If you wanted to save lives, if you wanted people to be safe, you would tell them to care about their health, to eat right, to lose weight, because you have such a higher risk of dying from COVID if you're overweight.
I do.
We already do that.
Tell people to be healthy. I do. All right. You ready for my response?
Lose weight.
Yeah. I tell people we should be healthy. You ready for my response?
At all, because that's what I was pitched on coming on here.
Say what now?
Are we going to talk about gender at all? Because that's what I was pitched on coming on here.
Madam, I'm looking at the production notes. It says anti-vax, anti-mask, and LGBTQ.
Great. So we didn't hit on that last one at all, right?
Wait a minute. Is that what you have in your production notes or not?
Yes.
Okay. So you weren't pitched just to come on my show to talk about gender, correct?
Yes.
Am I right or wrong?
Yes, but we haven't touched on that at all, and I'm getting
okay because we got into the minutia of this mess about what you feel or believe children should be as far as mask mandates are concerned. That's how debates go. But let's go ahead and get into gender. Whatever you want to say about gender, say it. I just don't want you misrepresented.
Wow. Running away from the argument. Holy shit. I haven't seen much or anything of Ashley St. Clair, but wow. She will not be debating another lefty after this. Holy fuck. Holy shit. My God, she has been absolutely dragged. Like conceding the point about just before about the school boards. Wow. Like that was the moment for me when she'd lost the argument. But wow.
What we provided for you in the production notes, because we clearly said to you,
so I mean, were we going to hit on that?
Vaccines and LGBTQ. Sometimes we don't get to all the subjects, but go ahead.
So are we going to hit? Did you have anything prepared on that topic, or?
Yeah, absolutely. Go ahead.
Go ahead. I'll wait for you. You've asked me on each one.
Do you believe that the LGBTQ community should have the same rights as anybody else?
Yes.
Okay.
Just when it comes to marriage, adoption, healthcare.
Yes. Was that what was prepared? Was that the lead-in?
Ma'am, do you have anything to say or not? What's your point of view?
Because I feel like you didn't actually have anything prepared and you just wanted to go on this tangent about.
Well, first of all, you're a damn lie about my preparation, madam. I prepare very well for every topic that we will potentially cover. Sometimes we don't get to all the topics. Sounds like to me you're not prepared. I'm giving you free reign to say whatever you want to say and debate me on that topic. Go.
That's fine if you didn't.
Oh, the Cope laugh. The little chuckle, the Cope Sargon chuckle. Oh.
Didn't prepare. We can keep talking about.
What the hell are you talking about? Didn't prepare. I'm telling you, say whatever you want to say about the LGBTQ community, and I will debate you right here on my show.
I came here to see what you wanted to talk about in relation to that topic. Did I not?
It's right here. It's the topic that's in front of you. What are your thoughts about the rights of the LGBTQ community? I believe they should have just as much access and rights as anybody else.
I do too. If that's your question, then there's no debate there. Then that's great.
Ma'am, I'm sure there's something you disagree with me on. I don't know you that well. Tell me something. Listen, sounds like this is what you want to debate. I'm giving you the opportunity to bring it to the forefront. Go.
Your question is if I think,
man, we got 2 minutes.
LGBT, correct. Your question is if I think people in the LGBT community should have rights. The answer is yes.
Should have all of the rights as anyone else.
Yes.
Okay. There's no debate there with me.
Then there's
no debate. You got something you want to debate me about?
No, I was just curious because you guys had told me we were going to debate about that.
Ma'am, what's your debate about it?
I guess there is none. That's my apologies. I must have been confused because that's what I was told.
Okay, you're being a silly Billy, but I do appreciate you being on the show. Okay?
Thank you,
ma'am. Have a good day.
Holy shit. Fuck off, Glue. Wow. Like I said, I've never seen him before. What is it, Dr. Richard? Wait, what is it? Dr. Richard Ritchie. Wow. I've never seen him before, but fuck off. Stop! Stop! Jesus fucking Christ. If that's fucking crashed my stream, I swear to God, some fucking ad. Anyway, I've never watched him before, but holy shit. That was brutal. Absolutely brutal. This is why conservatives do not go on debates, because when they do, they get absolutely manhandled. Far out. Wait, is the stream okay? No, it's not. Thanks a lot, fucking ad for quantum code or some shit. Jesus H. Christ. Anyway, wow, no, that was brutal. Okay. Now, like we know that Ashley St. Clair doesn't actually believe that LGBT people deserve the same rights as everyone else. Like we know that's not what she believes. The idea about I guess there's no debate there. That is crap. We know that's crap. We know how these people think, for Christ's sake. But regarding the COVID stuff, wow, that was brutal. Every point, like she didn't get, I didn't expect her to do well, but she did not have him on a single point. She didn't win on local government authority, school boards, etc. She didn't win on the efficacy of masks. Didn't win on the threat to children. Didn't win on comparing it to the flu. Far out. When he said that he prepares well for a debate, he wasn't kidding. That was a really, really good debate. A really good performance. I've seen him many times and he will hold your feet to the fire. So don't expect to go off topic of him. Yeah, exactly. Wow. That was very cool. Very cool. Alright, let's take a look at something else. So, the other day was Labor Day, which is a day that we celebrate in most, well not most countries, but some countries as a reminder of the work that's done by the working class and the struggles they have gone through and overcome historically. But apparently, not everyone is as keen on the day. From Newsweek, Arizona Senator decries Labor Day as communist holiday. And all I have to say is, yeah? Yeah. Who do you think won all of those rights for workers? Wasn't capitalists? Wasn't liberals? The rights we enjoy in our workplaces, such as weekends, 40-hour work week, 8-hour workday, maternity leave, holiday leave, sick pay, days off on holidays, penalty rates, all of these things were won for us by communists, by anarchists, by socialists, by trade unionists. It wasn't the government or the business who benevolently bestowed these rights upon us. So, yeah, it is a communist holiday, you dumb fuck. Arizona Senator Wendy Rogers has suggested that the Labor Day celebration is in fact a communist holiday. Rogers did not expand upon her reasoning for criticizing the federal holiday, Kelsey, please go away, which takes place on the first Monday of September and celebrates the American workforce. Labor Day is a communist holiday, the Republican tweeted on September 6th. Her comments were met with mockery from other social media users. The Arizona House Democrats' Twitter account tweeted in reply, says the heart and soul of Arizona's Republican Party. Prove us wrong. What? That doesn't make any sense. You do realize that if you keep falsely calling all good things communist, you're only going to make communism more attractive, no? Asked Twitter user at Seymour. I just remember, I've seen this picture from, I don't know, the 50s or 60s, which some people, I don't know, ages ago, having a protest, and one of them's holding a sign, and it says, it was I think it was interracial marriage. Interracial marriage is communism. So, time is a flat circle. We Ouroboros, we're just back at the start. So, yeah, all the cool things that sound like communism. Condemning the tweet or paraphrasing her own words, Shiv Ramdas added, "Working is communism." Huh? Who's Shiv Ramdas? That doesn't make any sense. Oh, it's this person. Oh, it's the crazy gun lady. The woman who leaves loaded guns just in her living room, hanging up on the wall. That's her, right? Oh man, she is insane. Labor Day was first celebrated in New York in 1888, although it did not become an official federal holiday until 1894. The day is meant to celebrate a number of workers' rights that have been implemented in the country, as well as the social and economic achievements of American workers. The rights achieved by communists. If you've ever enjoyed a weekend, not that many people do enjoy a weekend that often these days, but if you've ever enjoyed the fact that you only have to work 8 hours a day in your job, or, say, penalty rates, everyone loves those. If you've ever enjoyed them, you can thank a communist. New York was the first state to introduce a bill declaring Labor Day a federal holiday, but Oregon was the first to pass a law recognizing Labor Day in February 1887. Four more states, Colorado, Massachusetts, New Jersey, and New York, also passed laws creating a Labor Day holiday that same year. Elsewhere, Rogers has falsely and continues to suggest that Donald Trump won the 2020 election. Okay, so she's one of them, very in touch with reality. She is still campaigning for the election to be decertified 8 months after the result was finalized by Congress, and has launched a petition she claims has gained more than 663 signatures. I love that. A petition she claims has gained more than. Things are really taking off. Let's get to 1 million ASAP. All the results are coming soon. More states are coming online, she tweeted. I mean, this isn't really relevant to the Labor Day stuff. What? Come on. I get it. She's not in touch with reality, but oh my god, how much of this is about? Okay, that last third of the article was just about damaging Rogers' reputation. Sure, she's an idiot, but it's not relevant to Labor Day. Closed for Labor Day. A closed for Labor Day sign is displayed at Rosemary's Restaurant over Labor Day weekend on September 6, 2021 in New York City. Hell yeah. So, as I've said, if you have ever enjoyed one of the benefits that workers somewhat tentatively enjoy these days, reminder that if you're examining all forms of theft, then wage theft overwhelmingly is the majority of theft comes from. Way more than larceny, way more than grand theft auto. Wage theft blows all those other. I think like the amount of like dollars stolen in wage theft is actually greater than all other kinds of theft put together. Anyway, if you've enjoyed, well, if you somewhat tentatively enjoyed some of the rights that workers are supposed to enjoy, such as unions, such as weekends, such as maternity leave, sick leave, etc., holiday leave, holiday pay, let me tell you, those rights weren't achieved by like small government conservatives, or I guess more liberal-minded people. No, it was people who have workers' rights at the forefront of their ideology. And what do we call those people? What do we call those people who, more than anything, sometimes to their own detriment, are concerned about workers' rights? My friend, we call them socialists. The people that have achieved these rights for us, that we tentatively enjoy, were all socialists, communists, anarchists, unionists, union members, union bosses. All those people are the ones that guaranteed us those rights. Unfortunately, we've been a little bit... I was going to say gaslit, but it's not the right word, but there's been a massive propaganda campaign post-World War II against these ideas, and now we're seeing the results, the negative consequences. So, to Wendy Rogers saying Labor Day is a communist holiday, yeah, you're right, but not for the reason you think you are. And I love the idea that everything cool is communism, or everything cool is socialism. So, like, days off, that's communism? Or, fuck me, where do I sign up? $15 an hour minimum wage is communism? Hell, where do I sign up? Come on. Everything cool? Let's see. So, yeah. Never think that... never mistake the... I was going to say the Republican Party, but just conservatives overall. Conservatives are not pro-working class. Even conservative voters. Now, that doesn't mean we shouldn't care about them, but conservative voters themselves, their ideology, they vote and act against their class interest. They don't know that ideologies that center workers' rights are what's best for them, so we have to drag them kicking and screaming to that eventuality. Now, I want to take a look at something else which I've seen floating around, but haven't watched anything to do with. I haven't watched it at all. Let's see. Uh-oh. 1 second. Let me get the stream back up on my phone. Okay. Now, how many of you have heard about Konya? Konya, as you may know, is Vosh's housemate. They have their channel of their own. Konya, just past 10k subscribers as well on YouTube. Well done. How Twitch chat helped reclaim Pepe the Frog. Now, I've talked about Pepe the Frog on channel before. I've talked about how it's a damn good meme, so we, as leftists, or even liberal people, we don't want to let the right have it, because the right can't do memes. The right can't do humor. So letting them have Pepe the Frog is only to our detriment. I've argued with people online, progressive-minded people, about how they don't believe in reclaiming symbols or reclaiming phrases. They had the argument that one of the arguments levied against me was I bet they believe in reclaiming, and it's hello, look at the word queer. Now, the word queer hasn't 100% been reclaimed, but the word queer is utilized very much in the sense of like a more like it's used shorthand for LGBT, like because like LGBT is shorthand for LGBTQ, LGBTQ is shorthand for LGBTQIA. It goes on. Like most often in conversation, I'll just say LGBT because and like not to like dismiss the identities of the other initials that I'm not mentioning, but it's just shorthand. Same thing for queer. It's a whole lot easier to say queer. However, there's some people that would argue that you should not reclaim these phrases or these symbols, and Pepe is one of them. So, let's listen to what Kanye has to say. I'm sure I'm going to agree with a lot of what they've got to say.
Anyway, it's time for the story of Pepe the Frog, the true face of Twitch. Let's go.
He was the every frog. True. The amphibian that felt...
What do you mean was? What do you mean was?
All the things we felt.
We, coggers. There he is. Woo, and the other one's going.
Pepe the Frog became one of the most popular memes in the world. And perhaps nowhere did he become as indispensable as on Twitch. As he grew in popularity, so too did his variations and the breadth of emotions he could help communicate.
These
While
old
Twitch
GGX
was
clips.
keeping it hypers to the rest of the world, Pepe was getting pretty Monka-esque.
All key tenets making up the emerging racist ideology known as the...
Goddamn Hillary Clinton, goddamn killer, I've been telling you, she is eating baby spines. Many people will tell you this lady, if we can call her that, more like demon. She's trying to stop you from using Pepe the Frog. Don't let her do it. I said don't let her do it.
Damn it, Kanye, come on. We're riding such a high. Fucking hell. I fucking hate YouTube, I swear to God. I swear YouTube ads have gotten way more offensive in like the last couple of years. Oh great, it's an ad for Dance Moms, which is basically... like it might as well be Cuties. Like how come people got so upset over Cuties, but Dance Mom has been on the air for how many years? Ugh. Alright. Fucking hell, let's hope it doesn't crash the stream.
Let her do it. I said don't let her do it. God damn it. PP is for all.
Also, can we just like the editing on this video? Kanye has 10k subscribers, and his editing is
alt-right.
We have a talk, and they're like, you cannot tweet or associate. You have any emotes you have with Pepe the Frog, anything you cannot associate with Pepe. You have to delete all, if you have emotes on your Twitch channel, you have to delete all your tweets about Pepe.
what the fuck?
Cringe.
And so I did that.
Free Pepe.
This is the story of the meme that went from emotional touchstone to alleged hate symbol, and then was revived again.
And now it's back, and it didn't.
Can we get some wide peepo happies in chat?
And now it's back, and it didn't die, and now people are using it appropriately.
I mean, that's just what I imagine when I imagine like the default Twitch viewer. If you close your eyes and imagine a Twitch viewer, it's just, to me, a Peepo or Pepe comes to mind.
I want to see some Pepe pains in the chat. I want to see some Pepe pains in the chat.
Remember Pepe the Frog? This is him now.
What is that? Also, Pog will
Remember Pepe.
This is the boy dem, Mr. William Neffelheim, the true star of Twitch.
Pepe the Frog? This is
What
him
is
now.
that?
Feels good, man.
He said it! He said it! You gotta post it. He said it! You motherfuckers are slacking. He said feels good, man. You gotta post it. Come on. Pick up the pace.
Feels good, man.
In 2005, during the golden age of webcomics, Matt Fury released Boys Club #1. And among its group of listless post-college animal bros, the comic featured a chill frog named Pepe. In 2008, the meme started to pick up some real steam on popular internet message board 4chan. It became an in-joke of sorts, a stand-in for the user's own feelings. And while Feels Good Man had been the frog's most iconic line in Boys Club, it was a remix of that.
No.
Feels Bad Man, sometimes called Sad Frog, that became the predominant version on 4chan. A growing mix of social media networks, image sites, and gaming communities started to embrace Pepe.
Oh shit! You know him, you love him. It's Yamaro. Now, it's not called Yamaro everywhere, of course. But that's what it's called in this community and others.
As online games and streaming continued to explode in popularity. Gaming, and particularly streaming, adopted Pepe in a big way. Pepes were essentially a way to react
Oh my god! How? We get a Simply clip? That is sick, dude. Does he know? Does Simply know his likeness is in... Wait, this is August 7th. What is it today? The 10th? He has to know by this point, right? Simply streams start way too early for me a lot of the time, so I'm not there a lot of the time, unfortunately. But I've been watching Simply for like the last 8 or 9 years of my life. He's the guy who got me into Super Mario 64 speed running. He's a previous world record holder for 120 star. I'm currently learning 120 star. You can watch me on twitch.tv/ConderCC whenever I practice that at the end of my streams. The Boydem. Hell yeah. Can we get some simp L's in the chat? I don't know how many of you guys...
And in the streaming world, that's a big part of what viewers did. They reacted to whatever was on screen. The advent of the Better Twitch TV and Franker Faces add-ons in the 2010s allowed users to add their own emotes. And Pepe emotes became incredibly popular due to their emotional range. The Pepe Hands Better Twitch TV emote and Monka S Franker Faces emote were popularized by Forsen's community. Hypers came up through Greek God X's community before generally becoming a kind of Pepe PogChamp, a way to let Pepe express your excitement.
Wee, coggers. There we go.
Coggers?
There we go. Woo, and the other one's going. It's the other one's turn.
And Monka S in particular, clearly an expression of anxiety or nervousness, was a perfect fit on Twitch, where the audience often watched with bated breath as their favorite streamer strolled into the unknown. On Twitch, Pepe basically stayed in that pre-2014 state, but it wasn't like that everywhere. In 2018, the Overwatch League explicitly told players not to post about the cartoon frog on social media.
And thus began the absolute death of Overwatch. Or like Omega Overwatch. Can you imagine banning a frog? This is why your game's dead.
They also timed out users for using Pepe-related emotes from their own...
For no other reason. The game is dead because they removed Pepe this one time.
Overwatch, StarCraft, and Heroes of the Storm channels, including those from content creators that played their games. The ban came to light after a tweet by then Overwatch League player Jay Sinatra Wong. Esports community member Rod Slasher Breslau then revealed that Blizzard had previously banned fan signs with Pepe and asked players to remove tweets about the frog. And according to former Overwatch League player Ted Silkthread Wang, he had been told as early as March of 2018 that any association with Pepe would not be tolerated by the league.
What? $1,000 fine?
Vampire Hunter, these guys aren't lefties.
From whom? Wait, I'm sorry, I need to know. Former Overwatch League pro Ted Silkthread Wang leaked an email he was sent that fined him for posting about Pepe the Frog on Twitter during a July 23rd Twitch stream. Mind you, this is posted in 25th of July 2020. Back in Season 1 of the League, in an attempt to improve his Twitter game, Silkthread tweeted, "Does anyone else love Pepe the Frog?" Well, it's an open question. Does anybody here like Pepe the Frog? I do. Shortly after doing so, the social media manager for his team, the Los Angeles Valiant, demanded he delete the tweet immediately. While he did so, his remark didn't go unnoticed by the Overwatch League, who fined the player a whopping $1,000 for posting a cartoon frog.
Hang on, the Overwatch League, so his employer, I guess, like who he's contracted with, they fined him $1,000? What the fuck? Imagine that in any other industry. Like, oh, you're late to work for like the 10th time this year. Just $1,000 docked from your pay. What?
Rather, posting about a cartoon frog. It says that he. I don't even know if did he post a picture? Or was it just the text? Fortunately, he was able to appeal the fine and claimed he was unaware of the Green Frog's alleged connection to as a quote-unquote hate symbol. Nice memes. Now, years later, the DPS player has leaked the email that the league sent him, accusing him of posting support for a racist meme, quote-unquote. The email called Silkthread's tweet, quote, unacceptable and a, quote, violation of the spirit of diversity and inclusiveness that makes Overwatch great. It continued to stretch that he would be fined $1,000, but had the option to appeal, which he did. According to the player, he paid a $60 Uber to go to Burbank so he could dispute the fine. What the hell?
Hey, Overwatch better have reimbursed him that $60.
Is going on here?
At Silkthread, anyone else love Pepe the Frog? Question mark, question mark. This behavior is unacceptable. Your comments violate the spirit and diversity and inclusiveness that makes Overwatch great. Comments like yours will not be tolerated by anyone associated with the Overwatch League. Your conduct also violates the letter and spirit of the Overwatch League's official rules and your Overwatch League player professional services agreement. Accordingly, the league office has determined to impose a $1,000 fine for posing support for a racist name. Your team will be directed to withhold the amount. Yeah, la 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 blah 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 blah.
Vampire Hunter, probably because a lot of people on 4chan use it. I'm sure that Konya's going to get to it. It has been used pretty extensively by the far right. I'm sure we all remember the famous clip of Richard Spencer moments before getting clocked in the face talking about how he had a little Pepe the Frog pin. Like, that's why, just because they were using it. It's the same thing as, like... Well, actually, no, it's not the same thing as the OK symbol, alright? Because everyone uses Pepe the Frog. Just because some people of questionable morality use it, doesn't mean we should let them have it. Kermit's next. Kermit doesn't have the same versatility as Pepe the Frog.
And then, if you guys want to know what happened, I ended up paying like a $60 Uber to go to Burbank, and then I disputed the fine, and then yeah, the dispute worked, and I didn't get fined.
Hell yeah, easy clap.
But thinking back, I think it probably would have been smarter to take the fine, because like it'd be pretty fucking cool to get legalized as the person that got fined for tweeting about Pepe the Frog. That'd be pretty epic.
That'd be pretty poggers, you might say. Oh no, dude. Yeah, Blizzard has, no tolerance whatsoever as a company for making anyone uncomfortable. Okay, that's why they had to fine this guy $1,000.
Oh dear. Can Blizzard die already? And don't forget, like, Blizzard's in defense of the Chinese government's, attempt to reclaim Hong Kong and Taiwan, alright?
Pepe left, chat. They did not know. California's suit against Activision Blizzard for fostering a toxic workplace could change the whole industry. Among other allegations, the suit includes claims that while attending Activision's popular annual gaming conference, BlizzCon, higher-level male staffers hung out at a hotel suite nicknamed the, quote, Cosby Suite, after Bill Cosby, who would later be convicted for serial sexual assault. The suit further named the suite's occupant former Blizzard game director Alex Afrasiabi, citing multiple incidents in which he allegedly harassed women at the conference. The suit also reports that in an unrelated event, after a period of targeted sexual harassment, which reportedly included male staffers sharing nude photos of her around the office, one employee died by suicide. Among a variety of other allegations. But of course, Blizzard has no tolerance for anything that would make people uncomfortable. So they had to fine him over Pepe the Frog.
My Twitter game was weak, still is weak, but it was weaker back then, and I needed content to tweet, so I was thinking of something to tweet for really long. And I eventually was like, oh, I'll tweet. Does anyone else love Pepe the Frog? Question mark. That's the entirety of my tweet, okay? 2 hours after I tweet that, my social media manager on Valiant tells me to delete it instantly, and they're like, you cannot tweet or associate any emotes you have with Pepe the Frog, anything you cannot associate with Pepe. You have to delete all, if you have emotes on your Twitch channel, you have to delete all your tweets about Pepe.
Wow.
And so I did that.
To understand why, we have to go back to 2015.
Ah! Okay. Alright, well, it seems like it's going to actually get into the whole hate symbol angle now. This just speaks to the fact that everybody loves Pepe the Frog. Stop trying to make it a hate symbol.
We have to go back to 2015.
Oh, Lord. Believe me.
Pepe had largely gone mainstream and was used by people that 4chan labeled normies, the kind of people applauding as Katy Perry and Nicki Minaj posted Pepe's. But there were some people on 4chan and elsewhere who wanted that to end, and the only way to get the public to turn their back on Pepe was to turn Pepe into something the public couldn't accept. And now
what is this tweet? From J. Nordlinger. Quote, does anyone know what that green face is that alt and cuck people put in their avatars and their other... Who the hell is J. Nordlinger?
A now suspended Twitter user told the Daily Beast that associating Pepe with white nationalist ideology had been an intentional goal. And though later...
Imagine my shock.
Accounts would say that the website had been trolled, the article was picked up by Hillary Clinton's presidential campaign as part of their claim that Pepe had become affiliated with white supremacy.
And as we all know, this move was wildly successful because it, you know, completely smeared Donald Trump's brand with the Nazi affiliation because of a cartoon frog, and she ended up going on to win the 2016 general election for president.
Right?
Oh no.
Happened because Pepe had also started to become affiliated with Donald J. Trump's presidential campaign after he tweeted a picture of the frog in October 2015.
What a time to be alive.
Sporting his signature hairstyle.
Wait, what?
And while some supporters began to embrace the Pepe meme as part of a pro-Trump outlook, others went darker, adding trappings of Nazism or anti-Semitism to images of Pepe. Whether the users quoted in the Daily Beast article or Twitter users adding frog emojis to their handles were really just trying to troll the media or not, by the time of Donald Trump's inauguration, there were real self-avowed white supremacists like Richard B. Spencer who wore Pepe with pride.
It's Pepe's become kind of a symbol.
Yes. Listen, he didn't... Okay, listen. Richard Spencer didn't get punched because he was a Nazi. He got punched because he was a Nazi and because he was trying to sully Pepe's good name. That was the... Nobody talks about that part. A lot of people are like, oh, Richard Spency. Richard Spencer, self-avowed neo-Nazi. They punched him because he's a Nazi. Which, in my mind, you know, I don't condone violence, okay? But I'm not going to be sad about a Nazi being punched. All right, but nobody tells you that it's actually because he was trying to, you know, ruin Pepe's image. You can't do that. Fucking Nazis, all my homies hate Nazis. True. I never remember that guy's name. I just remember him as a punch Nazi.
It all culminated in the addition of Pepe the Frog to the Anti-Defamation League's hate symbols database in fall 2016.
Wow.
But even the ADL's page on Pepe said that the vast majority of users were not posting racist or anti-Semitic Pepes, and that context was everything. So while many understandably turned away from Pepe after the ADL's declaration, Pepe was more heavily ingrained in away from Pepe after the ADL's declaration, Pepe was...
What is this old-ass Destiny clip? They like in the beginning they're pulling like really old clips of Greek God X, and now this like ancient clip of Destiny.
More heavily ingrained in some communities than others.
Hey, I know that emote.
At the same time, Pepe creator Matt Fury was trying to regain control of his creation, one that had clearly heavily diverged from his initial incarnation. In 2017, he wrote a comic depicting the death of Pepe, an attempt to bury both the old frog and the new. But he also launched lawsuits against companies selling products depicting Pepe, including
Hell yeah.
Wars.
Alex Jones to pay $15,000 in Pepe the Frog copyright infringement case.
Alex Jones can't afford $15,000.
Get fucked.
And Nazi website The Daily Stormer. And an emoticon on Steam that featured Pepe was caught up in that campaign. While the mild-mannered Fury was doing his best to put the genie back in the bottle, the greater internet was debating.
Did Destiny ever back off using Pepe in his community at any point? No. And why would he? There's like literally no reason to back off using Pepe the Frog. The only reason it became anything is because of Donald Trump's involvement and Hillary Clinton's campaign's response to it, which led to the ADL classifying as a hate symbol. But it was a rash move, a hasty generalization about all uses of the Pepe Frog. Real fucking dumb.
But that takes us back to the Overwatch League. The ADL's decision led to their choice to ban Pepe. Overwatch League is an esport, and for many viewers, Twitch is synonymous with that experience. So there was significant backlash against the move, even among the league's staff, although they couldn't say so publicly at the time. But Twitch is clearly bigger than just Blizzard esports, and so Pepe continued to exist. New streamers came up, and with them came more Pepes.
True.
In many ways, it's been the world of Twitch and gaming that have brought everyone's favorite frog back from its stint on the razor's edge of cultural uncertainty.
True! I have been saying this for so long. I have been saying this for many years now. I have always, and will continue to credit the Twitch community and any community that's not everybody on Twitch uses Pepe, emotes and stuff like that. But a lot of the big ones do. I will always credit Twitch with destigmatizing Pepe the Frog away from, the overblown characterization of it as a hate symbol. Nobody is using Pepe the Frog on Twitch as a means to be bigoted. It is quite literally just like an emoji. For you boomers out there, Pepe the Frog emotes are just emojis. There are ways to express emotion through text where text doesn't really, do enough justice. So for instance, if you're having a bad day, I could be like, today sucks, just as the text right there. You see that? Or I could be like, feel sad, today sucks. Or feels bad, man, today sucks. And it gives you that extra oomph in your message to elicit the kind of idea you were saying. So like, for instance, I had an incredible day today. I could just type that, or I could be like hyper pogger. I had an incredible day today. And now you just get an extra layer of context. You get an extra layer of excitement or interest or emotion. It's just an emoji. That's how people use it. People don't use it with bigoted context. The amount of people that use it just as an emoji, as an emote, as an emoticon, are dwarfed by the amount of people that are trying to use it as like some sort of dog whistle. They also function as tone indicators. True. So for instance, this Pepe, right? This one right here is usually used to denote sarcasm, stuff like that, right? So I could be like, I hate watching twitch.tv/ConyerCC. So I'm joking here. I'm making a joke because the Pepe is there. Anyway, all of this is to say that I have credited Twitch, specifically Better Twitch TV and Franker Phase Z, and any community on Twitch that uses them, for destigmatizing and reclaiming Pepe the Frog from the far right. And I think that's a good thing. And I've said this several times. So there are many people that will reflexively be like, oh my god, you're using Pepe the Frog. It's a Nazi symbol. Oh my, I can't believe these communities are full of Nazis. So I remember this person, who I don't care about like their actual brand on Twitter. They have me blocked because of the tweet that I posted in response to this. They were, I tried joining a CG Art Discord, and this was their emoji panel. I left immediately. And it's just a bunch of Pepes, Pepos, and Peepos, right? Like, look, it's Pepo Pirate. We have that in my chat. Ahoy, maybe. Yahar. Right? And it's done. There's no good reason for this. And my take has always been, I can't help but think that Pepe's creator would prefer left-wing people, or generally progressive people, reclaim his character rather than just relinquish the character to the Nazis. If we can possibly move Pepe from being understood as a hate symbol to being understood as just another reaction image and a character that people like a lot, enough to remix as their own brand. So for instance, I have an incredible wealth of different Pepe and Peppo emotes that I have made that are in my brand. So he's not a frog anymore in my community. He's a bird now. He's a purple bird with a yellow beak. See this? Watch. Observe. I've got all of these emotes. Actually, I can just show you the chat room. I've got all of these emotes. We've got easy for whenever, you know, you pull off a crazy cool trick, you know, or you do something that's really difficult, but you're being humble and you're like, oh, that was so easy. Or you're like being braggadocious. It's like, oh, that's so easy. Easy clap. We have Peppo Chef for references to cooking. We've got Peppo in case we're trying to inspect something a little bit more closely. We've got Feel Strong Man for very moving, emotional, inspirational moments. We've got Peppo G just in case we gotta, you know, look at the documents, you know, check over our notes. There's a whole world of different options and different ideas for these emotes. We've even got ones that move. We've got People Run, a running emote. We've got Scoots, a dancing emote. We've got Hyper Pogger, which is a very high excitement emote. We've got Monka Steer, which is to denote, you know, a difficult time driving a motor vehicle. You've got a whole bunch of different options here. And it's all good fun. And I've made all of these with reference, obviously most of them, if not all of them, but I have made them my own brand. I have made them into birds because they have, if you see on Why People Happy, for instance, there's the yellow beak, obviously. There's the little beak rays there where the nose holes go, but I'm not going to draw those because it's such low resolution. And then there's a little feather swoop in the back, just a little feather swoop, because I've tried my best to turn this frog into a bird. So, like, Pepe is to the point where people will remix Pepe's likeness to be not even the frog anymore. This is how beloved this character is. And the idea that we should, because some Nazis are using it, some alt-righters are using it, we should just relinquish this character against the wishes of the creator, in my mind. Like I said in that tweet, I don't think that the creator of Pepe would be super excited about people just throwing him away to the Nazis, to the alt-righters. If we can get a critical mass of people who are progressive, left-leaning, or just not conservatives or Nazis using it, and it just becomes synonymous with whatever feeling it's trying to elicit, I feel like the creator would probably prefer that. I don't know. I haven't spoken to the person, so I don't know.
Oh, I snuck that one up on me. Jesus Christ. Man, why am I getting ads for Dance Mums? I don't watch fucking TV, for Christ's sake. And even if I did, it wouldn't be that trash crap.
I don't know. I haven't spoken to the person, so I don't know.
Over the course of the last few years, Pepe has mostly returned to the fun, emotional frog that we fell in love with from the beginning. Emotes like Poggers, Feels Weird Man, Wide Peepo Sad, and Sag continue to help Twitch users express their feelings about whatever happened on the streaming platform. By late 2018, it was pretty common to see even some of the biggest streamers on Twitch,
what the fuck?
Not just edgy boys like Forsen, doing some Pepe posting.
Why am I like this?
This is terrifying.
Yes.
This is a bridge too far.
Yeah.
This is honestly closer to far-right people using Pepe than what people in Twitch chat are normally doing. Holy fuck. This is frightening. I'm just kidding.
Maybe Twitch would have ended up as Pepe's retirement home. A community of dank gamers swapping jokes, iterating on the frog meme, and just having a good time. But he made a big move to the unlikeliest of places. Hong Kong. The 2019-2020 protests in Hong Kong initially centered around a proposed extradition law. But as the campaign took to the streets to protest perceived judicial overreach by China, Pepe the Frog was weirdly at the vanguard. And the message had nothing to do with its alleged association to the alt-right. We may never know the precise moment that Pepe appeared in Hong Kong or the exact reasons. But as the International Center on Nonviolent Conflict pointed out, Pepe is easy to draw, which helps with putting up graffiti. But also, his most popular incarnation is the sad frog, a dissatisfied amphibian that isn't afraid to make his feelings known. Even so, questions remain about Pepe's future. There are some who continue to ban him from their channels or platforms.
By the way, if a content creator on Twitch doesn't want Pepe to be used in their chat room, that is up to them. That's fine. I think that's totally fine. But like mandating that the likeness of this cartoon frog isn't used like company-wide or whatever, or, you know, service-wide. Like imagine Twitch was like, no, you're not allowed to upload your own custom Pepe likenesses. It's stupid. It's dumb.
And obviously, that's their choice. But on Twitch in 2021, the frog has mostly kept the original spirit intact. And perhaps no example hits home harder than the Pepe animations made by Hey W.
I guess, I mean, that's just what I imagine when I imagine like the default Twitch viewer. I just, because the emotes get used so much, it's just, it seems like if you close your eyes and imagine a Twitch viewer, it just, to me, a Pepe or Pepe comes to mind.
True.
I guess depending which age demographic you're imagining.
Harnessing the pathos of a fan-streamer relationship gone wrong, Pepe, a poorly drawn version of Pepe, stands in for
Whoa. What do you mean poorly drawn?
It's a little mean.
Every
kind
fan.
of rude.
And though the storyline is constructed, it still made a big impact on Twitch.
Like a few people cried, which I don't know what to make of that because it's all supposed to be in humor. 2 or 3, I remember 2 or 3 videos of people like crying and stuff. So those ones are come to mind.
There will always be people who will use any widely recognized symbol for ill, whether they claim they're joking or not. But the truth is that Twitch and the internet have reclaimed Pepe.
Just like
True.
Pepe was originally like unassuming and then turned into something mean, but then was reappropriated both by the creator itself, but then also by people on Twitch.
And while he will remain banned in some places, in others he continues to help do what he always did: express the feelings that seemed so difficult in text alone.
Thanks for watching. If you want more content like this, hit the sub button
Hell
and ring
yeah.
that notification bell.
That's a good idea, actually. What you guys should do, as a result of watching this video, is go to youtube.com/ConyeCC and hit the sub button and put all notifications on. This video is Conyer Collin as Iron Mage.
And in fact, you should go to twitch.tv/Louis Vuitton because you've watched this video of me reacting to Conyer watching this video about Pepe. You should follow my Twitch, subscribe to my YouTube, and follow me on Twitter. I have a big video coming very soon. I'm writing the script at the moment on masculinity, which I've been promising for a while, but I'm actually delivering now. And hey, it's going to be my most ambitious project ever. Oh, I'm so excited to share it once it's done. So yeah, thank you, Conyer, for covering a topic which really is important about. Like I said, I've talked about it. Like, I'm looking at Konyer's chat right now. It's on inshallah. So yeah, I agree. Inshallah. All right. Yeah, I look. As soon as I get to affiliate and I can put emotes on my Twitch, I'm absolutely going to be putting some Pepes in there. Okay. Don't let the right you claim that Pepe is a hate symbol. Don't let cool things be co-opted by the right. Okay. Thanks a whole lot, Conyer. I don't really have anything else to cover today. I haven't been streaming that long. We're only an hour and 20 minutes. It feels like I've been streaming way longer. But anyway, hey, that's about all I've got to say. Alright, I'm Louis Vuitton. Thank you all very much for joining me. It's been a hell of a good time. As usual, it's good to be back. I promise I'm going to be back at a whole lot more. We're streaming later today, and I will be back tomorrow morning, okay? So, don't have many viewers, so we won't worry about a raid. Anyway, thank you all very much for watching. I'm Louis Vuitton. Join your union.